welcome to another episode of Energy Express. I'm your host, Zach Harold, and I'm out here in my garden. I just noticed that there are some cute borage blooms out here among the tomatoes. We planted borage here because they help repel hornworms, which will destroy your tomatoes, and it attracts bees to help pollinate. And these borage stems have little tiny hairs all over them. But you know what? This next segment is about a different kind of furry friend. Let's go meet the therapy dogs.
Today I have Heidi. She is a visitation dog through Hearts of Gold Service Dogs. So what she really enjoys doing is playing hide and seek up on the third floor. So I'll tell her to down and stay on one side of the floor, and then I'll go hide in a cubicle somewhere and call her to me, and she'll sprint all around the floor trying to find me, giving licks to all the employees along the way. She likes to nap anywhere. As you can see, she's very happy as long as there's birds to watch. She will take a nap. We've trained her for scent work, so she can find scents of like anise or birch around the house or outside. She can also open and close your doors. She can turn off and on your lights. She likes to run through fields, chase bunnies. She really likes car rides, going to visit grandma. We take her on the lake on the kayak. She gets on the front of the kayak and sits and watches all the birds go by. She really loves getting out into the community. She really loves getting to visit students. Generally, students are thrilled when they see her wandering around. They say it's the best part of their day. It really makes me feel good. It makes her feel good. She loves it. She lives the best life.
This is Lily. She is the visitation dog for the College of Education and Human Services. She loves it. She absolutely loves it. It's so much fun to watch her with the students when they're stressed out, they're taking exams and stuff. We'll go down to the major lobby area where everybody's studying, and we go in, and the next thing you know, they're on the floor, they're rolling around, they're crying. I miss my dog. She's quite the celebrity sometimes. There's one class a friend of mine has, and he said, it's at the worst time of the day and they've been in class all day. Would you please? So we went in and just broke the tiredness, because they got up, they were playing with her, she was doing her thing, acting silly, and having a good time. COVID's been a killer for her because she didn't get this. We went back the first day when everybody was getting back, and I was standing in the dean's office and I had let go of her leash. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh my gosh, where'd my dog go? Well, she had gone to the first person she knew had a treat station for her. The person didn't have a treat station because they didn't expect to see her. And she kept going back and back, with me. What's your favorite activity, Lily? Mudding. Finding the biggest mud pile she can at Cheat Lake and just running on through it and putting her face down in it. And I call it her spa day. Get us a mud facial, yes.
Hi, I'm Kim Helmick. I'm here at the Health Science Center with Lucas. We're in the Department of Medical Education in the School of Medicine. He gets all the love from our medical students. He attends all the exams that they have and just lets them love on him. He loves kids, and he does love the students, but he loves anybody. Anybody could come up and pet Lucas and he would be happy.
My name is Diana Martinelli. I'm the Dean of the Reed College of Media here at West Virginia University, and this is Omega. I love Omega's name, and the breeder had named her Omega because she was the 7th pup in a litter of 7, and the last they were going to breed the mother dog. So she was the Omega of the line. We call her Meg or Mega. Those are the two. So Omega, Mega, Mega. She also has a favorite toy, which is her lamb chop. Well, you know, Omega was originally in training to be a potential mobility service dog, but there are certain loud noises that would prevent her from following through on commands. She would just be motionless, almost paralyzed when certain loud noises happen. I think the trick that seemed to amaze people the most was she could turn lights off and on with her teeth. The people who love dogs and want to be around dogs, those are the people who she tends to want to be around as well. But she does tend to seek out people who are under stress. I've seen her walk into a room, and if there's a student perhaps who's under stress, or a staff or faculty member, she'll go up to them, put her paws on their lap, and then she'll just lick their hand. And if you say, some people don't like to be licked, if you say no lick, she will quit. She'll nap wherever you are. She'll find a spot. But I think probably her favorite place is in our yard at home, in the backyard when the sun's shining and there's a little knoll, and she likes to lie down there and just survey the neighborhood.
My name is Michelle Payton. I am the program coordinator of the First Generation Initiatives within the Office of Student Success here at West Virginia University. Ruby here is our visitation therapy dog. Ruby's job is just to be social. Be here to help any student that they may be stressed out, they just want to come and visit a dog, they just want to hang out. She was in training to be a service dog, but that did not pan out completely. And she just did not match with a veteran. And so she comes to work and she's just here to help support students, to come in, they come in and relax, they just hang out and give her loves. That's her job.
Hello, my name's Ashley McMillan. I'm a clinical associate professor at the WVU School of Pharmacy, and this is Titan, who is the visitation therapy dog here at the school. So Titan's job is to give and receive love. So he helps our students or anyone else around feel comfortable, help with anxiety, and help with stress. I did not have anything to do with the naming of Titan, but he was named because of his size. He is the largest dog in his litter, so they gave him the name Titan because he's a big boy. Titan loves all toys that squeak and make sounds, so he likes to play with them if they squeak. Ruby is his sister, so that's his best friend on campus, I think, just because they continue to play with each other. We don't often see each other unless we're at a Hearts of Gold event, so he gets really excited about that. When Titan's at school, he likes to nap out in the hallway as well if we have the door open, because he can keep an eye on the hallway and stop anyone that comes by to make sure he gets attention. Titan loves to lay around. He is very busy with us as a family. He enjoys hiking, being around other people. He's often found at the baseball fields or soccer fields, getting attention from kids. He enjoys playing with other dogs, enjoys the other visitation therapy dogs on campus as well. Titan was originally trained to be a service dog. However, he did not meet the qualifications for that. He's kind of lazy, so didn't always want to follow the commands. So they found a better fit for him was just to be loved on, and so that's why he was reassigned to be a visitation therapy dog.
There are a lot of animal helpers in this world. There are seeing eye dogs that can help people with visual impairments. There are dogs that can smell when somebody's about to have a seizure. There are dogs that help the police find things. In this next segment, we're going to learn about a program called Hearts of Gold, which trains service dogs to help people with mobility impairments and post-traumatic stress disorder.
A service dog is a dog that provides a service for an individual with a disability. So that can be, a guide dog, they're helping a person that has visual impairments. It can be a hearing dog, a seizure alert dog, diabetic alert dog. Any disability pretty much that you can think of, we can train service dogs to help mitigate that disability. Hearts of Gold places service dogs with veterans that have mobility impairments or psychiatric disabilities like PTSD, anxiety, depression. So we started the very first WVU training class with Hearts of Gold in 2007. We had 8 golden retriever puppies, and I had 40 undergraduate students for my very first time teaching. They're learning everything from basic obedience to training the dogs to pick up dropped items, to training the dogs to turn lights on and off, do anxiety alerts, all the way up to the complex stuff. We started out with only Goldens, so that's our name. Hearts of Gold came from the fact that we're using Goldens. And then from there we branched out. We've tried German Shepherds, we've tried Poodles, we've tried Mastiffs, we've tried mixed breeds, rescue dogs from the shelters. Now we're really focusing on labs. We're really starting to like labs. The research shows that labs and golden retriever mixes, like bred together, are the most successful service dogs. So they have to pass a certain test, which is, for us, it's different. There's no national required test or anything. But for us, we use a version of the Assistance Dogs International Public Access Test, and then we add some of our own things to that existing test. And it's basically the Canine Good Citizen test, which is another test of polite pet behavior. They have to sit and stay. They have to know how to lay down. So just basic obedience. They don't jump on people. They don't pull on the leash. They're not fearful of noises or people or other dogs. They're essentially non-reactive, calm, and focused on their handler. And I mean, that's pretty much it. So someone has to approach and touch them and they're okay with that, and they can remain calm and in a stay position. They have to be okay with being handled. So the evaluator looks at their ears, looks in their mouth, picks up their feet, brushes them. They have to be okay with all that. They have to ignore food that's dropped. So the evaluator will just drop random food on the floor, and the dog can look at it, but they can't like try to get closer or pull towards it. So they have to pretty much completely ignore that. For dogs that enter service dog training, only about 30% make it. So that means a 70% rate of dogs that don't make it to that first tier. So for us, depending on the dog, they basically get career changed. So if they don't make it as service, then we might try them as therapy or visitation therapy. And that's where most of the therapy visitation animals at WVU have come from. And a lot of times the dog doesn't make it in service because they need to be a therapy dog. Like they're just too friendly. Service dogs can't be like going up to people and soliciting attention, right? So we've had several dogs that get released because that's all they care about and that's all they want to do. And so they're not going to make it a service. So they make a perfect therapy dog. So a service dog is a very special kind of dog, very highly trained, and they have protected access in public locations under federal law. So under the Americans with Disabilities Act, a service dog is protected with their disabled handler to be able to be in public locations. So that's anywhere that's considered public or open to the general population. There's kind of two different kinds of therapy dogs, and they get lumped together under the same terminology of therapy. For me, a true therapy dog is a dog that is providing therapy under the guidance of a therapist or someone else that's trained in a healthcare setting. So that the dog's actually providing true therapy, maybe like they're being used in physical therapy. So dogs are used a lot with children in physical therapy. So they're brushing the dog to help them get movement. The most common type of therapy dog that people usually call therapy dog, just a pet owner that has a really nice, well-trained pet, and they're visiting nursing homes, hospitals, that kind of thing. So emotional support animals don't have to have any training. So therapy and service dogs do have to have training. Emotional support dogs, I mean, you could go to the pound and adopt a dog with no training or a cat and call it your emotional support animal. Ignore it. Pretend it's a wheelchair or a cane. So you wouldn't go up to a wheelchair or a cane and try to distract it and get all excited, right? So don't do that to a service dog. That's the best thing to do. If you just can't control yourself, ask the person if you can pet the dog. And they might tell you no, and that's okay, that's their right. Or they might say, yeah, let me have the dog sit first or something, and then it might be okay to pet them. But first thing, try to just ignore.
When I came to do my college visit to West Virginia, I went and met with Dr. Margaret Minch from the animal science from the Davis College, and she was like, there's a service dog, because I told her I love dogs, like really interested in dog behavior, animal behavior. There's not an animal behavior major here, but she was like, we have a service dog training program. So she's like, actually, here's the address for it. They should be there now. You can head over there. So I came over here, and they were having a community event. Got to see what they did a little bit here, and then summer of my sophomore year, I took the online class that they have, AVS 276, took the lab the following semester, AVS 277, and then COVID hit, so I was TAing, but they weren't hosting the lab, so it was just training dogs on my own, of the program dogs. And then I just kind of kept doing that for a few semesters, and the spot came open to hire on another assistant trainer, and applied for the position and got accepted. I started this past November. I came into WVU with a major of animal science. I kept on going back and forth on whether I wanted to go to vet school, but I knew I liked behavior. So animal science was my go in, and then I ended up adding a minor in psychology about, I think, my sophomore year. Basic psychology classes, volunteering, that can even go for high school kids too, volunteering at animal shelters. ADI has a lot of different programs throughout the nation, even the world, so you could probably find one local to you and volunteer there. College kids, if you're at WVU taking AVS 276 or 277 to give yourself that foot in the door on dog training. If you're not there, just psychology classes on animal behavior. They say that dogs are kind of the same development stage as toddlers, so just even learning about children behavior, and kind of goes across the same species, same situations, so just even learning about children development is similar to dog development.
We've got more great Energy Express programming coming right up. After this, I'm just kidding, this is public broadcasting. We don't do ads. On to the next segment.
I love how you guys are sitting crisscross applesauce and hands in your lap, and so that's how I know your listening ears and your curious eyes are ready, because I am excited today to share a story with you that I've read to my children at home so many times. So my son Dax was here just a couple years ago. He's in kindergarten now, where some of you guys will be next year. So he went to school here, and this is a story that he loves so much, and it's all about West Virginia. But I was thinking, instead of just me, I thought that maybe I could think of a good friend of mine that might want to come visit with you guys today. Would you guys like to have a special guest? Not me, I'm not that special. Would you like to have a really special guest? Okay, but the rule with the special guest is you have to stay on your caboose, and you can show your excited face, but we're gonna stay sitting, okay? If you think you have an idea of who it might be, touch your nose. Okay, we'll see if you're right. Special guest, come on out. Musket! Can y'all wave to Musket? Hi, Musket. Look how, he's so big, isn't he? I've got a story today. Musket, is this you? I've got a story that tells about how Musket came to be friends with the Mountaineer. If you know who the West Virginia Mountaineer is, or you've seen him at football games or basketball games or soccer games, touch your ear. Okay, so some of you know who that is. Well, Musket is a big helper of the Mountaineer, and this story is gonna tell us how they came to be such good buddies. Y'all ready to hear the story? Okay, all right. Musket, if I make any, you point out any mistakes if I make. Musket's big adventure. A quest to find the gold and blue mountains. Wonder where the gold and blue mountains could be. We're gonna find out. Meet Musket. He's a dog who lived in a pet store with all sorts of creatures, furry and small, pointy and tall. He loved his friends who lived in the pet shop with him. But Musket was sad. See his face? He's looking kind of small. It's sad for Musket to remember this day. Happy families would come into the store and adopt his friends, and he was glad that they found a family, but sad to say goodbye to his friends. Musket sat and wondered what was beyond the front door of the pet shop. He was determined to find out. So Musket's gonna figure out what's outside that pet shop. Uh-oh. One day, Musket found the back door open. He decided to escape and venture out into the unknown. Told you he was going on an adventure. See where he's gonna go. For the first time, Musket was free. He smelled the flowers. He watched the buzzing bees and felt the warmth of the sun. A butterfly fluttered by. The orange patches of the black and orange marks on the butterfly caught Musket's eye. He wondered where this butterfly was going. He chased the magnificent monarch through the forest. There he goes. Tired and thirsty, Musket stumbled upon a shimmering stream. He saw Brooke the trout swimming in the water. Brooke was a colorful and graceful fish, but on this day she struggled because a giant rock was blocking her path. Oh no. Musket splashed into the water to nudge the rock right out of the way. "Thank you, furry friend," Brooke said as she swam through. "Where are you headed?" she asked. Musket wagged his tail. "I'm not sure. I know the perfect place for you. Head north. From there, you will see the gold and blue mountains," Brooke said before she swam away. That was nice of you to help, Musket. In the distance, Musket could see tall trees. As Musket made his way through a forest, he spotted Frank the forgetful cardinal. He was easy to spot because his feathers were ridiculously bright red. "They call me Forgetful Frank because I'm always lost," said Frank the bird. "Should you be somewhere else?" Musket asked. "That's right, I remember now. I must meet my family, but I can't find them," said the cardinal. So Musket offered to help, and he led Frank out of the forest where they found a flock of cardinals. This was Frank's family. Musket helping again. "Thank you, Mr. Dog, for bringing back our boy," exclaimed the mama cardinal. "But where's your family, Mr. Dog?" "Well, I don't have a family," Musket said. "But I might be able to find one at this magical place I keep hearing about, the Gold and Blue Mountains." "Keep heading north," Mama Cardinal said. "That's where you'll find them." So Musket headed back into the forest, through the Rhododendron Ravine, over the Black Bear Bridge, and past the Pepperoni Roll Plateau. From afar, he saw a mountain range that looked gold and blue. Musket ran faster and faster. That had to be it. This was his new home. A loud cry stopped him in his tracks. "Help!" yelled a man in a gray coonskin cap. The man was cornered on a cliff by a burly bear. Musket asked, "Why are you giving that man such a scare?" The bear growled, "These are my woods and I don't like strangers." Musket tried talking nicely to the bear. "I grew up in a pet store and made friends with all kinds of creatures. We're all different, but that makes each of us special and unique." Unfazed by Musket's words, the bear lunged toward the mountaineer and tumbled over the ledge and let out a shriek. Here's the mountaineer. Dangling by a paw, the bear looked below. It was a long way down. He struggled to climb back up, but couldn't. I see Musket coming to help again. The mountaineer grabbed the bear's paw and started to pull, but then the mountaineer started slipping too. Now both were dangling in distress. Musket quickly latched onto the mountaineer's sleeve with his teeth. He dug his paws into the dirt and used his mighty muscles to save them all. Whoa, Musket, you're strong. Thank you, said the bear. You are a true friend. From now on, I will welcome all creatures into my woods. As the bear trudged off, the man thanked Musket for helping him. You're a great friend, the mountaineer said. Will you come with me to the Golden Blue Mountains? Musket's tongue, tail, and whole body wagged with joy. His mouth dropped open and he barked an enthusiastic woof, which in dog language means yes. So Musket has found a friend and they're going to those mountains. When they arrived at the Golden Blue Mountains, secret's getting ready to come out. What are the Golden Blue Mountains? The mountaineer invited his furry friend to a football game to meet his new family. Ooh, Musket's first game. That's a lot of fans. At the stadium, the mountaineer told 60,000 fans how Musket helped save the day. As they stood and cheered, Musket thought, "This is the best place on earth." The mountaineer handed Musket a present. "This is for you, my dear friend. I know I can always count on you." There is Musket. Look, he got his very own hat and his very own collar with the special flying WV right on there. So now everyone knows that he's the West Virginia dog. Here's his dog bowl and his dog house. Musket's favorite things: treats and bones, riding the PRT, taking naps at Woodburn Circle, making new friends, and going to the dog park. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. And there he is. Does this look like the same dog? Yes, it does. What? No, not in this picture. That's just a picture of Musket. What a good helper you were, Musket. What do you guys say to Musket for coming to see you today? Oh man, you guys were such a nice, quiet audience. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Energy Express. We'll be right back here tomorrow, so we hope you join us. Have a great day.